Peace family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about how a lot of these weak-spirited beings will assume you cannot change the world. You know what I'm saying? You cannot change the world. And what's crazy is, like, it's mind-blowing that people live in this space to where they can receive that information and feel comfortable spewing that shit out to the universe. And it's like the more zombie, weak-ass spirits you run into, it's gonna be like the more you will be able to see how weak they are and how your strength resides within you. You know what I mean? I was sitting around kicking it, not really kicking it, but chopping it up with somebody the other day, and there was a couple of us, and the conversation started out talking about fucking being on a ball of water. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even paying attention to their conversation until they start discussing being on a ball of water. Now in my world, I know that I'm a teacher, I do this shit full time, so I don't have to engage. But on the other side, I'm a vessel for the, you know, the greater good, the creation. So for me, when certain things are said in my presence, it's like whether I want to say something or not, that motherfucking entity jumps in this vessel and it's gonna make me stand on my 2 feet. It's gonna make me stand for the universe. You know, it's kind of like how the oppositions jump vessels and do their thing when they, you know, when it's accessible and they want to do something with your shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but I was hearing them talking about how we on this ball of water, right? I am not a firm believer in the ball of water over here. To each his own. You know what I'm saying? If you believe you're on a ball of water spinning so fast you don't feel it, kudos to you. You know what I'm saying? But for me and my spirit and my team, we don't trust beings who's running around with ill intentions. The head of the Western society is evil and ill, which is why a lot of the sheep are running around evil and ill. So it's like saying you cannot change the world, but understanding how self-healing, self-work goes, it only shows how demonic the sheep are with how they communicate outwardly. That's why I get, it's really hard for me still trying to process the sheep and the witches with evil intentions, because even though they're sheep, they're still operating as if they're a witch who's running around doing shit intentionally, when really they're just spewing the information they're given. So he's telling me about a ball of water that we on. I don't believe in a ball of water. If I could see the clouds moving, I believe the clouds are moving faster, because this ground is not fucking moving. It's not moving. That's just me and my team and the information that I get. If people want to believe otherwise, cool with them, right? But that was just kind of the start of it. And it was like trying to, let me rewind it back. When you're young, right, 5, 6, 7, 8, under 15, you usually have this concept of you're this small and it's not really a whole lot you can do to affect the world. But as you get older, or you start ascending more, you realize that what you do does affect and change the world. What you do does and affect and change the world. So even if in their eyes, in their world, they're thinking, oh, well, you're not changing the world. Well, I've been working on me, which has put my daughter in a better position, which means that's the next generation, which long as she does her part as well and, you know, triumphs through all her obstacles or whatever, she's going to be lifting enlightened beings up as well too. It's just weird, like, how weak and submissive the fucking sheep are. Like, don't spew a bunch of bullshit information out that you don't even have any recollection of. Like, talking about the earth spinning on this axle and all of this shit. Shut the fuck up. I don't care about if it's spinning or not. If it's spinning, how does that help me today? If it's spinning, it's already been spinning. So what fucking difference does it make? In my mind, even when I was little, I knew I could not formulate a ball of water. So why would I assume that I'm planted on a fucking ball of water? I've never spun so fast that I could not feel it. Why would I assume that's even possible? Why would you assume you could spin so fast that you could not spin? You feel it. It's been numerous of things we have all partaken in where you felt it. I don't give a damn if you were spinning this slow or if you were spinning as fast as one of these roller coaster rides is gonna take you. Your physical body will feel it. It's the witchcraft and the spells being worked on the fucking other beings. And if you are a believer in that shit, just know that you're under the spell. You are under the spell. So that means that you have to understand that you are kind of dancing and fighting with the bully. You're kind of dancing and fighting with the rapist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why people want to do that. Like, if I'm dancing with you, I'll fuck with you. But if I'm fighting and battling with you in that ways, that means that we are not on the same page or eye to eye. I done fought my brothers, I done fought friends and peers and shit. That just mean that we wasn't on the same page at that time. Whoever got the biggest nuts wins. Hey, that is the easiest solution for men. Whoever got the biggest nuts win. You know what I mean? And a lot of the times you'll realize, like, that's all the way we say that is all spiritual strength. And it's no different with the divine feminine women. You know what I'm saying? It ain't physically whoever got the biggest titties, you know, but it's whoever is dropping. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody want their shits picked up and set over here. Like, we have to be in our divine energy. It is wartime. It is wartime. They got us being affected by the poisons in the sky. They got us being affected by the poisons in our food, in the ground. Yeah, I mean, anywhere you name of it at, they sprinkle on a little bit of that shit on there. You know how Dave Chappelle said, they getting this, just sprinkle a little crack on it. You know, you want a TV, sprinkle a little crack on it. You want some candy, sprinkle a little crack on it. You need some vegetables, sprinkle a little crack on it. The crack is the poison. And they've been poisoning this. Your soil, your mind, your spirit realm is your soil. That's your soil. You have to process, okay, well, if they done fuck my soil up, then everything that I'm putting in here is going to be a little bit diluted and all over the place. So when I'm engaging with beings, and when we out here engaging with beings, do not battle these beings who are fully under witchcraft spells. Do not battle them. They are fully warped. And when I mean don't battle them, I mean in like the beings who are not in your immediate space. The ones who you're in your immediate space, you have to process that shit as is. You know what I mean? Because we always gonna be fighting. So I'm not talking about that right now. But as far as the beings who's not in your personal space, you know what I mean? You have a lot of these sheeple beings will be regurgitating information out to you that they got on Google. YouTube is more trustworthy than Google. Google is a foreign entity, an alien that you don't even know who on the other end of it. At least with the computer technology with YouTube and shit, for the most part. For the most part, you will catch real beings on the other side. Now, they do have technology where they could put somebody else and make it seem like it's really them and all this other trickery and fuckery that they can do with the camera shit, you know what I'm saying, and behind the scenes with the program and shit. But for the most part, you are almost getting that engagement still. You know, you still almost can get that energy exchange. You know, when I read a book, I want to believe the source. So it's no different than if I'm listening and taking information. I want to be able to read the source. When I read a book, I don't have the source who wrote the book right there, and I'm reading it and I get to keep looking at them or listening to them and read this. No, you can process the whole thing here. And the thing is about YouTube is, if you don't like the way this person said it, or let's say you only like 5 words out of their 50 words, go to another channel. People that's speaking the same way, and you slowly start to piece it together. But do not get stuck in that weak ass mind state that we cannot change the world. Changing the world starts within. You know what I mean? I've had that shit on my Instagram for a while now. Like you when somebody say, "Oh, you cannot change the world without all the money in the world," I slap the shit out you in the face, boy, in real life. I promise you, you will not sit there and just be able to spew this shit out while it's a lot of us that's been fighting this shit our entire life. It's ones that's gone and already on to their next journey for fighting this battle. You know what I'm saying? And then we got other weak ass beings out here that's sitting there saying, "Oh, you can't change the world with yourself. You need a lot of money. You need a lot of this. And you need a lot of that." No, you need a lot of shut the fuck ups. That's what you need. Because that shit don't fly over here. That shit be riling me up. If they let men be men, look, they let men be men, the first thing I want to do is just utilize my physical attributes. You know what I'm saying? I was giving these motherfuckers for a reason. I am putting these bitches on the back burner right now because of the way this Western society is set up. But I wouldn't have to worry about those kind of beings saying that shit to me in real life, because they already know what the outcome would be. Oh, it's better for me to shut the fuck up and keep that to myself. Keep it to yourself, because when you project it outward, you're putting more energy and more power behind it, motherfucker. So don't be sitting around, running around telling people they cannot change the world, nigga. Just because you cannot change you and you will not change you, and you are not doing anything to help anyone. You ain't taking no major risk to help anyone. Don't put that weak ass energy on anybody else, because you're going to get sliced down in the spiritual world. And I promise you, if any beings have the balls or the audacity to do that in real life, it will be some kind of physical exchange. Trust me. I know. That's just the only way things is working out here these days. You know what I mean? So it's either you gonna be walked on or you gonna do the walking. And I'm not letting these weak ass spirits, and I know a lot of us is not letting these weak ass spirits just walk all over us. And it's a movie out or a show out on Netflix that kind of reminds me of the day and age today. It's like something was going on, and it's like the end of the world type scenario. And instead of zombies, they got these beings called jabbers, meaning motherfuckers who just talk too much. Blah, 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 blah. They talk so much bullshit and so much low vibrating frequency shit that the survivors have to put on earmuffs, headphones, you know what I'm saying, to block out the bullshit. And what's crazy is I was thinking that would be a great idea in real life, when you just around disgusting beings or people who just talk. They're not talking about nothing. The leaf, tree, sky blue, green. It's like, shut the fuck up. You wasting all this breath, blubbering all this shit that has not a thing to do with anything. Put my earmuffs on. That low vibrational shit hurts when it's coming in pounds and waves like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a reminder, like, just don't dive into that space too deep. You just acknowledge that they some weak ass spirits, you know what I'm saying? You address that shit for what it is, and then you don't give it no more energy. So basically you addressing the universe just in front of the vessel. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we have to take a lot of this shit as is. Sometimes some things I have to speak out loud in front of beings, like say like this right here, like in front of the camera, but really it's to the universe, even though I have the option of editing it and putting it in a computer and sharing it with you guys. You know what I'm saying? This energy still goes out to the universe. It doesn't take that away. You know what I'm saying? But be mindful of these weak ass spirits want to tell you cannot change the world. Changing the world starts with them. Starts with us. It starts with self. That means for you to say that, you are not self-aware. You are not self-aware. And if you are self-aware, that means you're extremely evil. So that means you have to go to this playbook, the witchy playbook. It's only 2 playbooks, motherfucker. Where are you receiving your information from? Is your shit giving you weak information to spill out? Or is it giving you strength to fucking spill out? Is it resistance because all of this motherfucking shit over here is witchy? Or is it coinciding, or is it co-signing all of the witchy shit right here because, oh, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Be mindful. Everything ain't always what the fuck it is, and we know it's been a lot of spells cast upon us. And I heard one thing that it was the most basic simple things that I be knowing just always stick with me. And it's just about this, like about soils and planting seeds, but the analogy of it was amazing. It was like, how do most women get to take the kids away from the man, when really, if you think about the process, right, the women's womb in their sacral chakra is the grass, is the soil, you know what I mean? The men sperm, our swimmers, is the seeds. So you don't get no fruits, you don't get no apples, no mandarins, you don't get no beets, onions, tomatoes, you don't get none of that without the seeds. Yes, you do need soil for the natural flow, but clearly we understand that the matrix only needs the seeds. They are subtracting the women out of that process. But you think about that. I know that's a little sidetrack from what I've been talking about, but it just made me process about how women like, oh, it's my kid, it's my kid, it's my kid, it's my kid, it's my kid. When really, it's my seed. It's my seed that I'm giving to you to put in there for you to cook this motherfucker. That's why most kids, scratch that, not kids, we're not baby goats. Most little humans look more like their fathers than their mothers. Most, about over 90% is taking most of their genes and genetics from the father, because that is the seed. But the way these word spells work out here, they have women thinking as if you need to go hand to hand. But the seed, the eggs are already there. The eggs is up there falling, the eggs up there falling. But the seed is where the beings are. That is where the strength and power is at. So it's okay to getting back to reality and the motherfucking facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the process, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know we out here strong. We putting in that work. Spiritually, physically, you know what I'm saying? Energetically. It's what we do, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't want to run up too long. Tapping anything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.